This episode of Shooting from the Lip is brought to you by the County Line, Louisville's last honky-tonk bar, located at 1891 Old Preston Highway in Hillview, Kentucky. Manager and bartender Chris Lucien invites you to check out live music every weekend, Friday and Saturday nights. Check out their Facebook page, The County Line. Mention Shooting from the Lip on Friday nights and get Jack Daniel's Honey for $3.
Shooting from the Lip features views and opinions from smart, funny, serious, and not so serious people. This show is intended for a mature and not so mature audience. Enjoy the show!
The show is back on this Monday night, August 29th, 2016. Shooting from the Lip, Kevin Hale in the studio, alongside with Blonde Bombshell, substituting for Russ Hinkle tonight, my buddy Tiffany Mac, T-Mac. What is up with you?
Hey, I'm here. I'm present. You hear me? You see me? I'm waving my hand. Right here.
Present and accounted for.
Yep. Ready.
You're a team player.
Mm-hmm.
You got the call this afternoon that you was going to have to step in, or not have to, but asked you to, and you are.
Want
I
to.
appreciate it.
Want to.
I appreciate that. How was the weekend?
It was eventful. My little brother, my baby brother, got engaged this weekend.
Oh,
and
congrats.
it was a very exciting adventure. We went to Udell Botanical Gardens, and he proposed in front of the little castle right there, and in front of the butterfly garden. So it was gorgeous.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Cool.
Little shout
Very
out to
cool.
my little brother, Timothy. Yep.
Timothy, congrats. Yeah, congrats to them.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. My daughter, my son-in-law, and my grandsons are in town. They got in last week, and so I got to spend some time with them. Saturday night, I went out with Kelsey, Mark, my daughter and her husband, my brother, his wife, sister-in-law, and my nephew, and my other daughter Claire, her friends. We all went out to Baxter's down 42. Then we shot down to Diamonds in St. Matthews, and it was fun, crazy night.
Live music?
Yeah, live music. So it was good weekend.
What's it like having adult children?
It's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. It's
being able to go and drink with them legally at a bar.
Drink
that sounds
with
really
do
weird.
shots with yeah.
Oh man.
And I can get away with being, kind of stupid.
Goofy dad.
A little bit. Yeah. And then if they said it once, they probably said it a half a dozen times. Dad. They say it that way. Dad.
I can see that.
But let's see. Again, tonight's Shooting from the Lip brought to you in part by the County Line, 1891 Old Preston Highway in Hillview, managed by Chris Lucien. I'll be sharing the County Line gigs a little later in the show. Also, a quick birthday shout out to my mother. Birthday today. So it's funny. My mother's birthday's my mother's birthday's today. All day.
Awesome.
And my what's that?
Does she listen to the show?
She tries to tune in at least at the beginning. So
that's good.
And she got wind of the Friday night show we did where I called her out about the "Love You Long Time" thing.
Oh, I love that part.
She's a little hesitant. It's a little gun shy when it comes to the show right now. But it's like my mother.
It's all good fun. We have a good time.
Right. Oh well, yeah. She knows the product that she helped create. So, um, yeah. So mom's birthday's today. My grandsons, both of them, their birthdays tomorrow. And of
Oh my goodness.
course, that no secret on what Kelsey and Mark were doing at the exact same time, 3 years
New
in
Year's.
between.
It was New Year's Eve. We already discussed this, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that's what you were saying, right? You did say that. So I'll have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old grandson tomorrow, and so yeah, it's gonna be a good week this week. So
Big celebration. Yeah.
um, start off. Usually, what we do, I'll throw off some national news items, and let's just have fun with it. One of the things that made its way into the national spotlight over the weekend was San Francisco quarterback Colin Kaepernick, his refusal to stand and observe the national anthem at one of the recent NFL preseason games. A lot of backlash. Um, obviously, from a veteran standpoint, a lot of people offended. What's your take when it comes to, in this case, Kaepernick, making a point by not standing because of his words were the oppressed people,
Well,
but your
okay,
take.
so he was open about his reasons for protesting, saying he refuses to stand for a country that allows racial inequality. But when it comes down to it, first of all, there's never been a complete equality. Doesn't matter what country you're in, doesn't matter what continent you're in. You can only be the best person that you can. You should not stand for abuse. You should not stand for neglect. But when it comes down to what's going on in our country right now, first of all, we have people who are fighting because they want to fight about something. We have murders every day, but you don't worry about the black on black murder. You worry about the police brutality. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
come on, let's stand for something together and quit all murder in some way, shape, or form, which it's never going to happen. I mean, the nature of humanity is violent. It really is. You're never going to just totally get away from it. It's a social issue. It has to do with broken people. You can't keep broken people out of the system. You just can't. But you can teach your kids to be good. You can teach your kids to respect one another. And when you don't have homes that have two loving parents who are going to work every day, who are, trying to teach you right from wrong, there's always going to be a problem. So you can sit down, you can stand up. I don't care what you do, but make a legitimate stand is what I say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are great points, and I do think in today's times, the when it comes to the United States, there are way too many people that feel entitled. There are way too many people that look at everything as the glass being half empty. What have you done for me lately, kind of thing. I don't honestly, I don't see things getting better, especially with who's running for office, and that whole thing. It depresses me because I don't have faith in either candidate.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
in some now I do get where Kaepernick is coming from as far as his stance. I do understand. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the truth is that he's on a major platform, so he's going to get the attention. But in some crazy way, as the notion that the the veterans, they're the ones that lay it on the line for us to have these opportunities to be able to, you know, um, free speech, free will, and in this case, pledge our allegiance to whatever. So in
Yeah.
some way, is he still acknowledging that code by, in a sense, not having the right not to pledge? Because here's the truth. The truth is, my opinion, I think honestly, I'm not a fan of the whole national anthem at any event. To me, there's something kind of, well, here's my take.
It's appropriate. It's appropriate in the Olympics.
Well, I don't even watch the Olympics, but here's my take.
Oh, well.
If you're gonna play the national anthem, I think you should have a hard camera, especially if you're watching on TV, and just show the flipping flag during the playing of it. I don't want to see these athletes with their heads bowed, and the camera's right in their mug showing them. Who cares about? I mean, the whole.
It's just a tradition. It has nothing. It has no real recourse. It's just tradition. If you're bucking tradition, you know what? Be a spoiled little brat. Go for it. I don't care either. But when it comes down to a time where we're having all of this racial angst or aggression, it's like, I'm sorry, whatever happened to you? You were raised in a good family. Oh, you poor thing. Well, oh, you're making millions of dollars. Oh, you poor thing. I get that he's standing up for the people who are not being treated justly, but come on,
here's a little tidbit.
It's a little childish.
Here it is, and not to knock him or call him a hypocrite, which I think we could. He was fined a couple of years ago for using the N-word towards another player during a game.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So, anyways, yeah, all right. But you said speaking of tradition, hold on. Speaking of tradition, Anthony Weiner continued to stay true to fame. Obviously a little narcissism with this guy who can't.
Yeah.
And in some way, I kind of know what it's.
Mr. Weiner,
it's not about hooking. Online is not about hooking up. Online is about the thrill of getting someone's attention and knowing that I have, I'll use you. I have manipulated your time and energy for the night to pay attention to me. That's the thrill of online. But, it's come back to bite him because the wife, Hillary's right hand, is officially ditched him. So anyway.
Well, don't make me snort too often tonight, but yeah.
I know.
It's one of those. It's one of those things. You know what? When you like showing your wee wee to people, it's gonna come back and it's gonna bite you in the end. And like my husband likes to tell me, nothing really ever disappears. Somebody will always keep a copy.
Sure. Well, speaking of showing off, we'll be heading into our first segment very soon. We're going to talk Kentucky Burlesque Society. They've got a gig event coming up this Saturday night. It's called the Rock and Roll Hoochie 2, the classic rock burlesque show. It's in Lexington. We'll be bringing them on shortly. But before we go to that segment, Tiffany, share with us our Friday night show that last week kind of got bumped, but we're going to be playing the uploaded version for this coming Friday. Share with us what's going on with that.
Yeah. So last weekend we actually had a guest by the name of Ruben Uriarty, and he and his buddy Noe Torres wrote a book called Alien in the Forest: The Cisco Grove UFO Encounter. And it's essentially a story about a true event that happened with a gentleman who was a hunter, and he got run up a tree by some really appeared to be a robot. So the Friday night show was interesting because of our problem, but we will be airing it this coming Friday, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that we actually get to speak to him again, because he does have another account that has like 17 similarities to the Cisco Grove encounter. So it's definitely one of our ET faves. So it should be good.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, without further ado, let's get on with the first segments. Again, we're promoting a burlesque show in Lexington this weekend at Cosmic Charlie's. It's the Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo 2 classic rock burlesque show. I've got Siobhan Atomica on, calling from, actually, you're in Portland right now, correct?
Yes, I've been headlining burlesque shows, and I'm a featured performer at the world famous Kit Kat Club out here. I've been here for 5 weeks working.
Wow.
And I'm coming back to Kentucky in a couple of days, and then we're going to do the show at Cosmic. It's going to be great. And then I'm working the other side of the country, the South and the Midwest, and then I'm coming back out to Portland in the fall. So this is my full-time gig, and I love what I do, and I'm really excited for our show on Saturday. It's going to be so much fun. We've got some great acts, great performers, and a special guest all the way from Indianapolis, Girl Haggard. I love that name. It's so great, and she is an absolute delight to watch. So you definitely have to come check her out. She is the coolest person. I mean, with a name like Girl Haggard, how could you not be cool, right?
How could you not? Nothing but cool.
She's going to blow your minds. And I'm really, really, really excited to bring her down to Lexington for the first time.
Well, check this out, Sean. I've got also Rex Marietta. Rex is on with us. Rex is a repeat offender on our show. This is the second time he's been on. What's up, brother? Yeah. What's up, man?
Not too much, brother. How's it going?
Good. I've got Siobhan. Tiffany is co-hosting with me tonight. And last but not least, let me bring on my buddy Billy Masterson. Sorry, Masterson.
Get it right, man. We're not that good at buddies, are we?
Billy Madison, one of my favorite Goofy movies ever.
See, all right, you're already a fan. Drummer for the Ass Haulers, one of my guilty pleasures. Now Billy, you were, the first time I was part of, I went to a burlesque show here in town where Rex and Siobhan performed. It was, you guys were part of the show as well. That's how I come to connect with everyone. So, and that was
a great time, by the way.
Over the top, yeah.
A really, really good time, yeah. And we're really looking forward to this Saturdays as well. Looking forward to seeing you again, Siobhan. It'd be great.
Yeah. You will see a lot of me on Saturday. You'll see a lot of all of us.
That's what makes the show very entertaining as well. So that's good.
Now, Tiffany,
we'll
what?
We'll be showing all
Tiffany,
of our assets.
Yes. Tiffany, what I've come to know about. What I've come to know about Siobhan is that she's. They refer to her as. Correct me if I'm wrong. Old school bump and grind. I've heard that tag on.
Sometimes. I've got a lot of taglines, actually. The most popular ones are the lady that puts the ass in bluegrass. And,
there you go. That was the other one.
I've also been called the Hunter S. Thompson of tits and the Voltaire of sex and the Mozart of sass. So,
wow.
You'll see a little bit of all of that on Saturday. I guarantee that. You'll see a lot of my ass.
Well, there is There is that one picture on your Facebook that the ass in bluegrass is right. Yes, the picture says it all.
Yeah.
So yes. So.
Yeah.
What more do you need? Now you know that you need to go to the show.
Well,
My
I was telling
Instagram is
Tiffany.
pretty much an astagram, so.
I like that. I've got a wedding to go to Saturday late afternoon or something like that. So I'm going to actually get to go watch the gig or the event Saturday night. So I'm looking forward to that. But,
Can't wait.
Rex, share with us your thing with the show. It's kind of a James Bond type thing.
Yeah. It's an act that's really near and dear to me. It was the first one that I put together, and I kind of graduated the Kentucky Academy of Burlesque with. It's not to give any of the big surprises away, but it's kind of a satirical look on the classic James Bond character. You know, this classic suave, debonair, masculine man, and I kind of like to take that and turn it on its head and take your expectations and just go to town with them. It's definitely more of a comedic look than anything, but I feel like that's, definitely my strength is making people laugh, and it's what I love to do.
And Rex actually won an award at the Oklahoma City Burlesque Festival for most comedic with this act. So
I did, yes.
Yeah, I'm his burlesque mom.
Yeah.
He's my baby. I taught him what he knows, but I was so proud.
Okay, I have a question
I won an award
already.
that day too, but I was more excited about him winning an award than myself. So, but yeah, come see an award-winning act with Rex Marietta, and you will guaranteed have a great time. It's really funny and it's really great. You said you had a question?
I do.
Tiffany, go.
So, I mean, I know what Siobhan does, but Rex, are you also, do you remove your clothing?
Well, actually, I do remove some clothing, actually pretty much most of it, but with this act, I also put on some clothing. It's both a strip and a reverse strip act, which I find putting on the clothing a little bit harder.
Okay, like a true, I guess I'm not understanding putting on the clothing. What kind of clothing do you put on that is so exciting?
Well, I don't want to give it all away, but
give me a little bit.
Okay, I'll give you a little tip. A little bit of a tip.
Give her the tip.
Just the tip.
Like mine.
Flip me the tip.
Yeah. So we have this archetype of James Bond, the suit, the tie, and all that. And I thought, well, what is the opposite? Well, what if we replace tuxedo shoes with heels? What if we replace a bow tie with a long curly wig? What if we replace a shirt with something that's a little more revealing, a little bit more binding in the way it fits?
I'm not following. I think I'm confused.
You probably ought to go and see it for yourself.
Because I'm looking at your pictures and I see the James Bond move, and I love that. It's very, very classic. Yeah. And then, so we're talking about like a bustier, maybe?
You're getting there. You're getting a little bit warmer. I tend to be a little secretive about the last half of this act. It's kind of my favorite parts.
Okay.
But yeah, there are a few pictures. Yeah, the big reveal, exactly. There are a few pictures that kind of allude to it on my Facebook. But yeah, by the end of the act, you'll definitely see this character in a whole new light and an array of new colors.
All right, rocket.
Nice.
All right. And so is it sort of like a drag show, though? I'm trying to figure out the whole, like, the feel of the show. I understand burlesque with the women, but I'm wondering how you fit in. Are you more of like like a circus like conductor, like a
no. Burlesque is completely gender neutral. It's accepting of all body types, shapes, sizes, heights, abilities, genders, sexualities. Burlesque is theatrical, satirical striptease, and anyone can do that. But a burlesque show, at least the shows I produce, also have a lot of variety involved. So not everybody in the show is strip teasing. We also have like jugglers, aerialists. Sometimes we have comedians and magicians. Sometimes we have drag queens. I like to have a lot of variety in the shows. So you're essentially seeing like an adult variety show. Now, when I say adult, it's not hardcore. There's not any full nudity, but you know, we get pretty risque.
Are there topless? Are there topless women?
We get down to pasties in my shows. There is fully nude burlesque in other places like New York City. But Vegas. In Kentucky, we don't generally go that far, just because of the laws and such. But it's about the journey. It's not about the destination. If it was about the destination, we could walk out on stage naked and say, "Pay us," and that would be it. So it's not really about that. It's more about telling a story and showing your character that you've created for the stage to the audience and letting the audience connect with that. And the audience can also become empowered through that because, like I said, there are all different types of people, shapes, sizes, genders, backgrounds. And, you know, in the media, we're force-fed this ideal of beauty and what it is to be a man and what it is to be a woman and what's acceptable and what's not. And people can come to a burlesque show and see people that are like them doing things that maybe they're not supposed to do. So burlesque in and of itself, even if the act isn't especially comedic or satirical, it is a satire of what society tells us to do and what is acceptable and what isn't. And a lot of people find that really empowering. And that's one of the reasons I enjoy doing this so much, because I like to lift people up and entertain them and show them through entertainment that they can be whoever they want to be and follow their dreams and do whatever they want to do and own their bodies and own their sexuality.
I like that. Said. That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me get Billy and your band, the Ass Hollers, Heavy. And you know, when you guys, I think you guys say it right. The way your style of play is to basically get chicks up, shaking their ass, and there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of opportunity, you know, for a show like this. I mean, you know, I was there when y'all did the last gig, and I have to admit there was probably a time or two when the dancers looked like they were kind of giving you the eyes, you know, the eye like, guys, let's take it home, because you all were just getting into a song, man. And, you know, the act.
Just trying to wear the girls out. That's what we try to do.
Exactly. You know? I mean, it was like,
make everybody go home satisfied and sleep well, you know?
Exactly. And so, yeah, Billy, describe the Ass Hollers. What are y'all about?
Oh man, it's just good old hard hitting rock and roll. That's why I feel like this is a great opportunity for us as well. I mean, this is really our niche, if you will. This is where we need to be. I feel like we make a good addition to the burlesque show as a backing band. Doing our thing here. It's kind of, you know, nitty gritty, dirty rock and roll. A lot of groove, a lot of heavy groove. Good ass shaking music. You know, that's what it's all about for us. Having a good time, few cocktails, and swinging it like you're supposed to.
And God love the girls, man. There was some that just rocked that pole.
Oh man, and I got the best seat in the house, you know.
And you've got the best view. I'm looking at you, and you're just like right there in front of that pole with them.
It was ear to ear, grinning ear from ear. That was great. It was good.
Now,
really
Bill, are you all?
Looking forward to it.
Is it going to be just you and Steven, or you got a third person this weekend?
We've got a third playing. It's Tim again, who played with us last time at Cure Lounge with us.
Right.
Cool. We've got he's going to be spicing it up a little bit for us on a little lead guitar, so it's all good, and it's going to be fun. I highly recommend that's what you do with this Saturday. Everybody.
And it's a holiday weekend.
Let's do this.
A holiday weekend.
Oh yeah, so there's no excuse really. There's really no excuse. Right. So
what better way than to celebrate with nearly naked ladies and some rock and roll music,
Hey,
so actually, it's 2 shows on Saturday. We have our regular show with all of our planned acts, and then late night with the Ass Haulers, we're going to have girls come up and do live improv performances to their music. So these are acts that have not been created. It's just off the cuff, and like Billy was saying last time, it was great. We're all really, really talented, and we're strong performers, so we can do this kind of thing. And the audience really gets into it, especially when they know that it's improv, because you never know what's going to happen with improv. You just have to roll with the flow, So
now,
it's going to be fun.
You're also, let's talk the Kentucky Burlesque Society. You're a founder.
Mm-hmm.
You're one of the founders,
or
the founder.
Yes.
All right. Tell us about that. Tell us about the society.
Well, I started Kentucky Burlesque Society a couple of years ago. I used to run a burlesque troupe, and it was really like herding cats or herding pussy, whichever you would prefer to say. But I started Kentucky Burlesque Society as a production company. So instead of training people through a troupe and trying to keep up with a bunch of people, I hire performers on a show-by-show basis, and they're independent contractors, and they can do whatever they want when they're not working in my shows. And I train people through the Kentucky Academy of Burlesque, which I also founded, and I'm the head mistress there, and Rex is one of the graduates of the school. But the Kentucky Burlesque Society is all about upholding and furthering the art form of burlesque through performance and education. And we have a huge network of people all over the state that are in our shows, depending on their availability. And we also bring in performers from out of state, sometimes out of the country, to headline our shows. So every single show is different, but you can always be rest assured that there is going to be a lot of really awesome variety, and there's definitely going to be some burlesque striptease in every show that you come to. I perform in this show, and I'm also emceeing the show. So you'll hear me talking a lot about everybody and cracking some jokes and getting the crowd going for everybody. I'm so looking forward to it. This is my life and my passion. It's all I do is perform and travel around the country. And I'm really excited to come back to Kentucky and be there for a minute doing what I do, and then going back out and making Kentucky proud.
Siobhan, I have a question. So I've been to Paris, and I've been to the burlesque shows there, and I'm talking like blow your frickin' mind incredible.
Right.
Were you classically trained? If you can be classically trained in this, I'm assuming that you can. Were you classically trained? Where did you get your inspiration, and how did you begin doing this? Because you look incredible, and the photographs that I've seen are unbelievable. And
thank you.
Although I haven't seen you in action, I just sort of wonder, what made you decide to do this?
Well, when I was 6 years old, I watched the movie Gypsy with my mom, and it's about Gypsy Rose Lee. And Gypsy Rose Lee was one of the most famous burlesque performers in the golden age of burlesque in the 30s and 40s of the 20th century. So I see this movie, and in the movie, Gypsy and the people she works with when she starts working in burlesque describe themselves as strippers. And I turn to my mom at 6 years old, and I'm like, Mom, I want to be a stripper when I grow up. And my mom is
probably your mom's first mistake.
Well, no, maybe it's her greatest achievement. Because
it could have been. You're right.
But I grew up in dance class. I took all different forms of dance. I started dancing when I started walking, and I've never stopped dancing. I've studied ballet, tap, jazz, lyrical, hip-hop, contemporary, modern, acro, Latin, salsa, belly dance, like everything that you can think of. Every type of dance, I've done it for at least a period of time. And in 2008, I had been waiting a few years because I had heard about neo-burlesque and the burlesque revival when I was around 16 years old. So when I was around 21, I decided, like, hey, I'm going to give this thing a shot. And I started doing it as a hobby. And then I joined a now defunct troupe that was in Lexington called Girly Girl Burlesque. And I was with them for a couple of years. And that troupe disbanded. And I started my troupe after that and ran my old troupe for a while. And now I'm doing the production company thing. But in 2012, I started going to BurlyCon, which is a burlesque educational and social convention that happens every fall in Seattle. And it's 4 days of nothing but burlesque classes and lectures and roundtables and discussions and networking with other burlesque performers and learning from other burlesque performers from all over the world. And some of the performers there are legends. They've been performing since the 50s, 60s, 70s. And I've learned from the top of the industry for years, and I continue my education, and I pass all that along to my students at the Kentucky Academy of Burlesque. And I study as much as I possibly can and train as much as I can, because that's really important to do. Never stop learning. But yeah, basically, I got my start because I saw a movie when I was 6 years old, and it's always been a dream of mine, and now I'm living my dreams. So I can't complain with that at all.
No, that's awesome.
But yeah, it's a lot of people do burlesque as a hobby. They don't do it so much as a profession, which is fine. That, you know, like I'm glad that people have this as an outlet for their creativity and their self-expression. I think that's really important and awesome. But there are a handful of people in the world that do burlesque professionally, and I consider myself lucky to be one of them. But it's very, very, very hard work, lots of time on the road, lots of 100-hour work weeks. And, you know, you have to love this to stay in it and to be successful at it. And it's constant work. Even if I'm not performing, I'm making costumes, or I'm working on marketing or social media, or producing shows, or teaching other people, or learning from other people, or training. So it's very relentless, but my heart and soul is in this, and I consider myself very, very lucky to be able to do this, and I'm very grateful for it.
So how many hours a week do you work out when, like, I mean, other than like just practicing routines, how often do you actually like get in a gym? Because your body is fantastic. I'm assuming that just dancing can probably do it for you, but
yeah, I actually don't go to a gym at all. I also work as a feature entertainer in gentlemen's clubs doing burlesque type stuff. Like I said, I've been working at the Kit Kat Club, which is a world famous club based here in Portland, Oregon, and they have feature acts with all types of different performers. There's sideshow people and contortionists and stilt walkers, and there's also Dante's Inferno. I headlined that a couple of weeks ago here in Portland. But they're just these huge, grandiose, naughty variety shows. But when I'm working at Kit Kat, I usually work 6 to 12-hour shifts. So I'm in 8-inch high heels that amount of time, and I'm up on stage between 2 to 4 times an hour doing 10 to 15-minute sets. And then, you know, like I'm doing pole, I'm doing dance, I'm wearing heels, I've got a thong up my ass. Like it's pretty relentless. And I usually take a couple of days off a week. And on those days off, I do Pilates and yoga and a lot of squats because, you know, I got to keep my butt up to par. But that's about it.
That's a big thing these days, is having a nice ass.
Right. And I'm lucky enough to be Italian, so Italian and Irish. But you know, I was blessed with some cushion. So I thank my mom for that. But Thanks, Mom. Thanks for showing me Gypsy and giving me a great ass. I appreciate it.
So what does she think about your activities these days? Is she a little shocked at it, or she just sort of kind of progressed this route?
Oh no, she loves it. She comes to the show with her boyfriend all the time, and they have a great time. And she is very supportive of what I do, and I consider myself very lucky to have her support. I'm very thankful for that, because I know not everybody has that. Now, some other people in my family are not too crazy about what I do, but you know, my mom was the black sheep and I'm the blacker sheep. So none more black.
Well, you're a beautiful black sheep then.
Oh, thank you. I have lots of wool.
Hey, Billy, 2 questions.
Yeah.
One, is it being behind Siobhan's ass while you're playing, thumbs up?
Oh yeah, 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Not up or at.
Oh, how do you do the thumbs up when you're playing the drums? I don't get that. How do you do it?
Well, there's opportunities, man. There's opportunities. Come out and see. I'll show you.
And I know you would. And also, Billy, when you were 6, did you pose the question to your parents, stripper or drummer?
I did not pose the question. I don't believe that was it. I don't know. I don't recall 6. I can't remember last week, so it's good. It's good that I don't remember, because you never know what I'd ask. So
I know.
The opportunities are wide open.
Now, let's get some ass haulers time in real quick, Billy. You guys are. I know Steven's I've been chatting with him quite a bit. You all are putting some music together, right?
We are in the mixing mode. We've got everything recorded now for our final recording of this set that we're doing here. It's going to be, I don't know, 14, 15 songs. We've got everything recorded, starting to sound awesome. You know, I'll email you a little clip that we did today. You know.
All right, cool. Very
awesome.
Cool.
Those
you
things
guys,
coming around. We're getting everything together, man. We're getting ready to, put our headquarters up on blocks and take it on the road, so we can, conquer something.
I'm a fan.
Conquer all the asses across the land.
Yeah. Get everybody motivated to haul some ass. That's all.
Yeah. There you go. Rex. You've got, how many right now would you say routines that you actually have? When you get up there on a whim, you can just go with how many right now routines that you could just, deliver in a night?
Oh, well, I've got my signature Bond girl. I've been working on a few new techniques and styles that I can kind of improv with, a couple of flow techniques. I'd say maybe a handful. That's one thing Siobhan really instilled like deep into my rhinestone-filled soul, is to always keep learning. And I find joy in it. It's, I see something new. I want to know how to do this. And I've really been working a lot on my improv, which I find even in a choreographed routine is, necessary and important, because you never know what's going to happen. So an incredibly long answer to a short question. I'd say a handful.
Yeah, it's quality over quantity. And Rex is still a burlesque baby. He's barely been doing this for a year and a half, So usually it takes about 9 to 12 months to really fully realize an act and get it going and ready for stage. If somebody's really going to put their heart and soul into it and do it in a way that's feasible from a business standpoint. Now, there are a lot of people that do one-off acts and things like that. I've been doing this for almost 9 years at this point. So I have a bunch of acts, and I have acts that I've retired. And I also, one of my strengths is improv, so I can just do something on whim and, make whoever's hiring me happy. Oh, you want me to dance to swing music? Okay, I'll do it, and that's a skill that has to be practiced, and that's something that comes with time.
That comes in play because you have such an extensive dance background. It's not something that people can just develop on a whim. I mean, this is something that you've studied your whole life is dance.
Right. But it can be learned. I have plenty of friends in the burlesque community that have never taken a single dance class, and they're amazing performers because their timing is really great, or they're very funny, or they're very good at making costuming and storytelling physically. You don't have to be an amazing dancer to be an amazing burlesque performer. That's not something that's crucial to it. It's the way that, I approach burlesque, but there's so many different types of burlesque that, it can't be fit into a box easily, which is one of the things I love about it. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, I've seen Pac-Man burlesque routines. I've seen Hellraiser burlesque routines. I've seen people stripping on beds of nails. I've seen people stripping while they're hanging upside down from the ceiling, from an aerial apparatus. It's completely open. Basically, the only rule is you enter the stage wearing X amount of clothing and you exit the stage wearing less. That's generally the only hard and fast rule. But sometimes you come out on stage and you're not wearing clothing and you put clothing on. But there's a change in clothing. That's what makes it, a burlesque type of thing. And also having that ability to have self-expression. I also get the question pretty frequently, well, what's the difference between burlesque and stripping in a strip joint? And I would have to say it's very hard to draw lines in the sand with it, because there's some strip joints where the girls have to wear like bike shorts and sports bras and they can't touch their own bodies. And there's some burlesque shows where they get fully nude and do lap dances. Now, that doesn't happen in my my burlesque shows, but it does happen. So you can't
touch your own body.
That kind of comparison. Yeah, there are strip clubs where girls cannot touch their own bodies. There are strip clubs where girls cannot. Nothing, the air. They just dance around. They can't get nude. It just depends on the laws in different places. Like in Tennessee. Yeah, in Tennessee, under boob is illegal. So from the bottom of your nipple to the fold under your boob has to be covered if the alcohol is served in an establishment. Yeah, so it's the
dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Right, and I mean even the modesty.
There ain't no telling what would happen with these.
Even the modesty laws in Louisville are different than the modesty laws in Lexington. There's no nudity at the strip joints in Louisville, or at least there's not supposed to be.
There's not supposed to be.
In Lexington, it's fully nude. And it just depends from city to city
with
or
alcohol.
State to state. Right.
So with it, no, seriously, in Lexington, you can go fully nude with alcohol?
Yes. All
really?
strip clubs here are fully nude, or in Lexington are fully nude with alcohol.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was okay.
Back to
what are you wasting
point.
your time on, Kevin? Why are you here in Louisville? Dude, you should move. Just move to Lexington, man.
Maybe it's because
the whole.
Yeah. Go.
Maybe it's because they know that you're here in Louisville. Maybe that's the problem. If you moved to Lexington, they would change the law.
No, I'm not a sicko. Shut up.
You got kicked out of Lexington, didn't you, Kevin?
But the difference,
I think you did.
Just for me to wrap it up.
Sneaking back in this weekend.
Yeah.
The difference between burlesque and strip joints, at least in my opinion, I've done a lot of research to back this up, and I've lived in both worlds. The biggest difference is the audience. It's in strip joints, generally people come up to the stage and they tip money. That doesn't typically happen in burlesque shows. So the dancer is performing to whoever's tipping her in a strip joint. And in a burlesque show, they're performing to the whole room. They're not just performing to whichever person is giving them money at the moment. In a burlesque show, people pay admission at the door. They sit down. Nobody's going to come up and hustle them for dances or anything like that. They can just sit and watch a show, and there's an MC, typically. And that's not generally how things run in strip joints. But it's really the audience's intention that I think is the big difference. and the audience's attitude. In burlesque shows, it's a very welcoming environment to women, and we encourage the audience to get loud and make noise, and we call it verbal objectification. I like to say the more they hoot and holler, the more T&A they get for their dollar, So,
I would definitely be more open to visiting and participating in a burlesque show than I would just the average everyday strip club. And I think that it's because you're getting an actual show and not just a generic striptease from somebody just bump and grinding in front of your face. And I think that, based on the fact that, I have traveled around and I have seen a few, I would definitely pay money to go see a burlesque show. I really, really would, especially a well-prepared and planned experience like it sounds like.
Then come to Lexington with me, Tiff. Come to Lexington with me.
Yeah.
I would love to, but who's going to watch my kids, man?
I will say in defense of some places, not all strip clubs are created equally, and on the same side of the coin, not all burlesque shows are created equally. But Kit Kat Club out here in Portland, Oregon, it is a burlesque show style strip club. So every single performer is super talented. Everybody's got all these amazing little tricks that they pull out, and it's actually a show. There's an MC. The whole place is set up like a little cabaret club. There's candles on the table and red velvet curtains, and it's nothing like the clubs back in the South. But if you ever happen to be in Portland, Oregon, go to Kit Kat Club. You will guarantee to have an amazing time. It's so much fun to work there. It's so much fun to visit. I go in there as a customer when I'm not working because it's so much fun. It's like I get excited to go to work on my days off, So,
I like that. That sounds good.
Yeah. It's amazing. I highly, highly, highly recommend Kit Kat Club. You will have a great time. So if you find yourself in Portland, Oregon, definitely go to Kit Kat Club.
Awesome.
All right, as we're wrapping up this segment, let me get Rex in. Rex, you know what's going on Saturday night. Go on and share with us, promote the Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo 2.
Yeah, it's the sequel to our best-selling, sold-out show from last year, the original Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. It is a great burlesque show tribute to classic rock. You're going to see acts ranging from amazing classic burlesque to comedy to variety, juggling. I know that we do have some aerialists coming in. Of course, the live music with the Ass Haulers, which I'm personally super excited. I cannot wait for that. Personally, again, the number one thing I'm really excited about is the second show of the night, the improv with the Ass Haulers. Blew my mind last time. And if you're hearing this, if you're seeing this and you're thinking that maybe it's for you, maybe it's not, it's definitely, because this show has everything.
It's for everybody.
And then a little bit more.
Everybody.
Exactly. It's for everybody.
And I would like to say doors open at 8 o'clock, and it is $15 cash admission at the door. You can pay with a card at the bar. But if you're planning on coming out, dress up, bring your friends, bring some tipping dollars, because we will have tip kittens walking around collecting your generous offerings. But just the tip, just the tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
Yeah, everything's going to kick off around 9 o'clock, and our variety show will end around 11, and then we'll have a short break, and the Ass Haulers will set up, and then we will perform with the Ass Haulers from around 11:30 to 1:30, and then we'll kind of mingle with the crowd, take pictures with people, talk to people about how they can become involved in burlesque or any of the other types of variety art forms that they see. But it's going to be a very fun, interactive experience. It would be great for a bachelorette party. It would be great for a girls' night out, great date night, great time for like a bachelor party, any kind of party. Just come celebrate. We love parties, and we usually do some pretty special stuff if somebody's celebrating a birthday or an anniversary or anything like that. So if you're planning on celebrating something like that, come on out and we'll make sure that you have an extra great time. But everybody's going to have a great time. And there's something for everybody in this show. Everything is totally different. From minute to minute, you will be on the edge of your seat, and you will leave seeing things that you will not see anywhere else in the state of Kentucky. I can guarantee that to you. And again, Girl Haggard. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like you have to see her. You have to meet her.
Yeah.
She is so amazing. She is so nice. Like she looks so tough, but she is the sweetest person that you will ever meet. She's got a snake tattooed around her neck, you know, and she's super tall and thin and like just gorgeous. And she's also really, really talented. She's actually going to be dancing to Stranglehold in big 9-inch platforms. So come see that, because you will be happy. You will be so happy to see her. I can't stress that enough.
Tiffany, I will come back with some stories from Saturday night. And actually, Tiffany, for the record, I'm going to throw this out there because I've got a wine buzz right now, but I'm working on a few of my tender chicks in Lexington to meet me at the Burlesque show. So stay tuned for the details of my night. But
tender date.
Luck with that. Yeah, good luck with that.
Billy, how many songs will you all be playing? How many songs will you all be playing Saturday night? Do you know your set list yet? Or
no, I don't know.
Yeah, as many as it takes. Okay.
You know,
you're playing about 2 hours, though, right?
Yeah, we'll be playing for a while. So however many, however long the acts hold that,
However long the pole is standing. The pole. It's all about the pole.
That's right.
All right.
The pole break. There you go.
Till the pole break. All right, Siobhan, Rex, Billy, kill it this weekend. I will see you guys Saturday night.
Awesome.
Good luck.
Forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Yeah, meet you. All right, you guys,
so much,
have a good night. All right.
All right, you too. Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Tiffany, you got a little taste of burlesque there. There's a lot of. It is actually. I went to see this combination. They were here in Louisville. I can't remember when, but that was the first time that this burlesque group interacted with the Ass Haulers. And again, that whole their style of music, which is this heavy rock, and these chicks, all the acts, it was all improv, and it was just it was sexy, tasteful. It was so over the top, and it was, this would be fun. It's a nice it's a different kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to hanging with them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Could you pull that off?
Yeah, right. Honey, I'd like to go to a burlesque show in Lexington with my buddy Kevin. Is it okay? Probably not.
All you have to do is say yeah, say it's or you break him, or you can always say, "Oh, Kevin's he's my hairstylist."
Do you know how to brush hair? I guess you got two daughters.
I can blow dry your hair.
Wow, you know what? I've made him do that, and he just looks at me like, "What?"
Last segment of the night, I'm bringing in singer-songwriter from the DC area. She's also, like the others, have been she's a repeat offender on Shooting from the Lip. Michele McTierney, another blonde bombshell, out again from DC. Michele, you've been sitting tight, listening to all this. Did any of this conversation kind of like, yeah. Have you ever been a part of anything like that, like a burlesque show or, something like to that nature?
Every time I perform, hello. No, I don't think I've ever done that particularly, but, I definitely see the entertainment value of it. I thought I was going to get Matt Damon, though. You know how Jim Kimmel is always like, we don't have time for Matt Damon tonight.
Oh, no. We got time for you, but... How have you been? How are you?
I've been very good, thank you. Busy with the Suicide Prevention Day, World Suicide Prevention Day benefit concert, taking up all my time.
Well, share with us. We got my co-host tonight is Tiffany Michelle.
Hello.
Hi.
So, well, for starters, Michelle, just give us a quick bio on you, and then go into the event you're working on.
Sure. Well, I'm a singer-songwriter out of Baltimore and D.C. area, and I have an album that just came out this past January called A Work in Progress. It's a series of autobiographical songs about who I am and, going through some struggles from depression and anxiety, domestic violence, to, love and relationships and sex. And I had struggled with depression and anxiety all my life. There have been low points in my life where I've been suicidal as well. And a few years ago, 3 years ago, I had put away music for a couple years and tried to be what I considered a real adult. And that was a bad thing to do because, people live on dreams and people live on, what makes them happy. And about 3 years ago, I was at the end of my rope. I was over 450 pounds and wasn't doing music and hated what I was doing and was miserable. And, I woke up one morning, I'm like, something's got to give because I'm ready to check out. I really am. And I looked in the mirror and I'm like, what has always made you happy? What could possibly lift you up from this hole that you've dug yourself into? And the answer was music. So I went back into the studio and started recording and started up with a trainer and exercising and dieting, and I lost 100 pounds. And then I went and got gastric bypass surgery and lost another 130. I have an album out now, and I'm gigging, performing out in venues, and it's totally changed my life.
I can't even, from the pictures that I'm seeing on Facebook, I can't even imagine you at 400 pounds. It doesn't even make sense to me. You were a beautiful, beautiful woman.
Thank you.
I'm shocked. But I do understand. I come from a family with larger people, and I do understand the struggle and the depression that goes along with it. But how did you grow up singing? Were you always a singer? Was that always part of the plan for you? And did you just sort of lose your way for a while, or who is Michelle? Where did you?
Well, I've been doing music all my life, and I had focused really on. I've done singing, and I was doing some like acting and theatrical, performances and stuff. My mother was a Shakespearean actress growing up, so I kind of got that from her. But my dad's very analytical and very linear, and both my parents are very intelligent. So they were always like, stay in school, do the school thing, and you can have music as a side hobby. And they've always said hobby.
And
so art. Yeah, exactly. And I can't believe that they throw this stuff out of schools, because this is what makes kids learn. This is what brings them together and fosters a sense of community and has, this is how people find their soul and connect with people. I mean, when you're at a concert, there's this collective energy and you feel connected, like you're not so alone. And for them to do away with a lot of this stuff or not give adequate funding to the arts and music in schools is just a terrible, terrible crime, I think. And but I started with playing flute as well in the marching band, and my parents weren't really well off, so I was learning on my own and never really had any private lessons. Maybe I had like one or two for my birthday or something. But I grew up going into the marching band. I played piccolo in the marching band and flute in the orchestra, and then I also played in the jazz band with saxophone, played a little piano, and I always loved to sing and write music. But again, it was always like relegated to a hobby. And when I went to college, I really considered being a music major, but I don't think I could do that to my parents. They were sending me to college, and I wanted to at least do something that had legitimate job prospects, at least in their opinions. And so I kind of made a compromise and did English and French, because at least I could graduate with tech writing or something like that. But I always had this dream ever since I was younger of being on stage and singing songs and singing my own music. And all through college, I was in different bands and wrote music and wrote songs and lyrics and poetry. But now it's like a dream come true because I feel like I can totally express myself how I do it best, which is through music, and the immense connection that I felt with people who get the music and they like it. It just is overwhelmingly amazing. It really is.
And you've had your travels too. Let's throw that in. You've actually, you did school outside of the U.S., correct? Remind me, wasn't that right?
Yeah, part of the time. I went to the University of Notre Dame. I went on scholarships and was on work for study and, worked every spring break and every holiday. But I actually got the opportunity to go in my senior year to France and studied for the year there and was able to travel around Europe, which was phenomenal. It was a game changer for me. For the first time in my life, I felt good in my own skin and saw this immense beauty. And it was amazing also because when you go to another country that you don't speak the language, you realize that language is more about emotion and gesture and common ground rather than any word in particular. And music is like this great equalizer. Mm-hmm. Because I joined the Baroque. I joined this Baroque orchestra when I was in France, and immediately I started feeling better because I was probably the slowest person when it came to speaking French, and I stuttered, and I was so overwhelmingly full of anxiety about it. And the French can be a little spiky about it too.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But having that music, and and that's when I really started to write my own songs and started to sing them. So out in public, and so it was really a game changer to be in Europe. It was beautiful and amazing, and I love the people there.
But you're no slouch in the classroom either. I mean, Notre Dame, that's an incredible start to begin with. Incredible. I just, when you go to, like you said, other countries and you get to experience the more worldly realm, you get to see how other people see us, other people see you, other people see music, other people see, literature, whatever the case may be. You get a different idea, and it helps to create this new individual and this new you, and what you would like to develop, all the skills that you would like to develop. You just get a different taste, and
I'm getting choked up, Tiffany.
I know. Just because I lived in Greece for 4 years, and I'm telling you, I loved every minute.
Oh my
of it.
gosh!
But people who really get to immerse themselves in another culture or learn a different way, it makes a difference. And that's what I think. I think that you should always learn a different way. Put yourself into somebody else's shoes. Put yourself in a position where you're uncomfortable so that you can actually learn something new. Just learn something new. Just put yourself out there. And you never know what you're gonna bring out of that situation. Look at you.
Exactly.
You're now singing, you're creating your own songs, you were getting out there and doing what makes you feel wonderful, what makes you feel like you.
That's very true.
And Michelle, your Facebook profile pic, I see the shadow of the mic on your chest and neck and neck and chest. I'm just imagining there's nothing else. There's nothing else. Nothing else on. That is a very hot pic. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, really.
You go and fantasize all you want.
Yeah, okay.
I'm honored.
Now,
I've worked very hard to look like that.
You look great. You look, yes.
Thank you.
We were, with the burlesque people on prior to you, that's, they're I mean, there's really no difference, really. They're performing, they're trying to, for their audience, it's all visual, but for your audience, it's not all vocal or audio. There is visual. You're trying to engage with your audience in a somewhat of a physical way too, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, my performance is really a performance. I don't play many instruments up on stage when I am performing, even though I can play a wide variety of different instruments. And I want to tell a story. I want to be able to see the audience and engage with them. I don't want to be behind a instrument, which is like being behind a podium, I don't want to just sit behind a microphone and tune my audience out, or, I want them to feel what I'm feeling, and I want to connect with them and make sure that they're getting the message. So there's a song called If You Were Dead, and I actually throw a tantrum and, have a fit, and I get on the floor, and I get, and a couple other songs, I dance and I move around and do a lot of different stuff. There's a song called Shut My Mouth, and I kind of headbang to that one. And I just want people to feel it. And kind of like Laurence Olivier had told Dustin Hoffman, Dustin Hoffman had asked him, why do you act? Why do you do what you do? And Laurence Olivier's response was, look at me, look at me, look at me. And I kind of it's not about the attention. It's about hey, I have something to say. Pay attention.
I hear you. Very cool. Now tell us about this event you've got coming up.
Thank you. Yes. World Suicide Prevention Day, as I said, it was a subject that's near and dear to my heart. But not only have I experienced that personally, but I've also seen friends and family struggle with depression and anxiety and suicide attempts and suicidal thoughts. And you feel, when you're looking at it from the outside, you feel powerless. You don't know what to do. You don't know what the right thing is to say. When you're going through it yourself, you don't want to be a burden. You actually just start to close in on yourself and isolate yourself, which is the worst thing you can do. And the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention does so many great things to help people who are both struggling with suicidal tendencies, or have depression or anxiety, or who have gone through an attempt, or the friends and family who are going through depression, anxiety with a family member or a friend, and giving them counseling on what to do and how to be there for them, or if they've lost someone, to provide survivor support. And they have a hotline called the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, which is 1-800-273-TALK, as in let's talk on the phone. And that is available 24/7 for anybody. If you know somebody who's in crisis, or you yourself are in crisis, call that number and ask for help, because the most courageous thing you can do is ask for help. It may seem like you're being a burden. It may seem like there's no hope and that there's never going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, or maybe you've gone through depression before and you're like, this is never going to end, but it does get better. Yeah. And your life is worth living, and everybody has a purpose. I found mine, thank God, finally, finally. But everybody has a purpose. Everybody is, it's worth, your life is worth something, and you just got to figure out what it is, and just go for, follow your bliss. That's where you're going to find happiness, and that's where you're going to find purpose. But how do you do that? You have to step forward and ask for help first. And what's also great about the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is that they have educational programs, awareness programs, to stop this stupid stigma of mental illness, and to be able to provide support programs, to do healthcare advocacy and healthcare reform, so that people get the kind of healthcare that they need to give them the treatments, the medications, the doctors, the support network that they need to be able to overcome this. Because suicide is the 10th leading cause of death. Homicide is 17th. This is totally preventable. And it's just, it boggles the mind when you start to think about some of these statistics. Over 42,000 deaths each year, 25 attempts per death. Every 12 minutes, someone commits suicide. And there are over 1 million people who actually, 500,000 people visit a hospital for injuries due to self-harm. That's the people that actually go and get help for that. There are over 750,000 survivors, loss survivors. That means you lost a friend or a family member. And so every year, that exponentially increases. So it basically is 1 in 21 people that have been affected by a suicide.
And I think everybody has known somebody who has gone down that road. So everyone has felt that pain.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, I mean, it's over 1 million suicide attempts a year. I mean, how can we ignore this anymore? How can we have any more stigma attached to mental illness when this is such a serious problem? It's like people are so against taking medication. They think it's a failure, or or health insurance companies don't pay for the ones that really work. And why is that? It's like diabetes. You wouldn't tell somebody who is having, a problem or a crisis, you shouldn't need that insulin. You should have eaten better.
Yeah, exactly.
You're in crisis right now. You need it. If you're having a heart attack or something, you need the medication now. You need help. This has got to stop.
I'm gonna throw this out here for you, Michelle.
Yeah.
I've been there and done that. That's all I'll say. I had a cross line, or I had crossed the path. I count my lucky stars. We'll leave it at that. But to what you're saying and talking about, I feel you. I know firsthand what it's like to be lost and not know. And though,
yeah,
I can't believe I'm fucking saying this.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you had to go through that, because you are such a good person. I know from last talking with you.
It's in a moment you can get lost, and you.
But you know what?
You
Here's
lose.
the thing, Kevin. In a moment, you can make a dumb mistake. You can make a dumb decision.
It was, yeah. I was there, and
take that. Yes, we'll take that one depressed moment. And everybody's known somebody who's done this. Everyone can say, God damn, I hate my fucking life. What is wrong with me? But it's not always wrong with you. It's environment. It's not having the right job. It's not having the right people around you to support you. There's lots of different elements to this. But you know what? Sometimes you have to just say,
but when you're at that point,
sleep on it.
Yeah.
Let me just sleep. But people don't say, let me sleep on it. That's what happens. They say, I'm done. And instead of taking that night to sleep on it,
here's what I'll say. And this is, I guess, to raise awareness to it, because it can get, I think a lot of people don't know this, and I'm still a little dumbfounded that I'm actually talking out loud here, but it was.
No, thank you for being so brave and courageous, because it means that people aren't alone. They're not alone.
I think I'm as real and genuine as they come, but there was a night where I hit a wall, and it wasn't that I was trying to do something intentionally. It was kind of like, let's just see if I wake up. And when I woke up, it was in the ER, or not in the ER. I was out of the ER. So let that be said. So I got a second chance, and
yes, you did.
I still have issues with the fact that I was probably very selfish, not thinking about others that would have, would have been involved or were involved in that whole scenario, my family and stuff. So,
well, I think that the problem is a lot of people assume that people can just snap out of it.
Mm-hmm.
They think, why can't you just be happy? And also you say that you were selfish, but when you're in that moment, I know what I am. I'm thinking I'm being the selfless person because I don't want to be a burden on anybody. I don't want to put anybody else through my depression. I don't want to be here anymore, and I don't want to put anybody else through this mess that I am.
But the problem is
not
the reaction. Yeah. That's not the reaction I got, for the next several days. It's like.
Well, that's true because I had a lot of friends who. Yeah, I reached out to a couple of friends. Actually, I had a really big bout of depression a few months ago. And I had, and you'd think, oh, Michelle has everything going for her and seems like she's very happy and bubbly. And I'm very good with faking it when I need to. But I called out to a couple of friends and I'm like, I am in a really bad way here and I need your help. I need your help. And I feel horrible about asking for it. And they're like, you know what, Michelle, I'm glad you asked for help because I love you. I love the fact that you trusted me and you called because it would be so much worse if I have to go to your funeral. It'd be so much worse if I have to go every single day thinking, God, why didn't she just call me? Why didn't we just talk about it? Why couldn't I have been there for her? And the fact that I saw that from their side, like I used to date this guy and he's like, when you hurt yourself, you hurt me. I don't want to ever walk in on you doing something bad like that. I don't, and one of my friends, oh God love him. He's such a good guy. He actually was trying to help somebody who was suicidal that he knew just peripherally from work and was helping the guy over the next couple of days because he just kind of happened upon this circumstance, didn't know the guy very well, but wanted to help and showed him, the suicide prevention hotline and offered some support and said, hey, I know some good counselors and I want to be your friend. Let's talk about this. Let's hang out. And the guy just couldn't take that hand. And my friend actually went over to see him, and he had hung himself. And to walk in on that, and he has that vision in his head forever. And the fact that he knows deep down he tried his best, but that, how can you do that to somebody that you love? You've got to think about it from that other perspective, that people do love you and people do care about you, even if you don't think so. And I'm tired. I'm so sad and tired of hearing about people who commit suicide or suicidal because it's so preventable. And I know how it is. You and I both know, Kevin, how when you're in that spot, you don't know what to do. But organizations like American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and this concert is to raise awareness, to make people realize that as a community we need to pull together and support one another, raise funding for an organization that can help.
Well, definitely keep me in the loop as you progress with that so I can share with people. And I'll help out in any way I can. Actually, Tiffany and I message each other on Facebook Messenger during the shows, and she posed the question, how did we get from strippers to suicide? And I'm like, that's what this show is, man. There's no limit.
Well, let me go to an uplifting note, though. We have, for this concert, we have over 30 bands playing. Totally for free, and the tickets are $15. So as much of the proceeds are going to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention as possible. We have local artists donating art for our silent auction. We have a person who's doing sports and music memorabilia who's holding a silent auction. We have raffle. We have local businesses donating items for this raffle. So we have tattoo artists who are donating their services for free for gift cards. We have restaurants giving us gift cards. We have liquor places, which is great, donating liquor baskets and certificates and stuff. We have some music stores and things donating services and products. And the whole community is just coming out in droves to be able to support this event and raise money for it. It's a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful thing.
Is
we
that,
have
Is that in DC? Where's that located at?
It's in Baltimore at the Auto Bar on September 11th. Okay. It's an all-day event, so it's from noon to 1 a.m. We have bands playing the whole day. We have raffles throughout the entire day. We have a silent auction running the whole day. And actually, I'm going to be on ABC2, WMAR, as well as Fox 45, WBFF, to promote the event as well. I've been in some local newspapers, and the support of the local businesses, the local community, the local media outlets has been amazing, because they know this is a problem, and we got to come together and, you know, and fight this thing. We got to fight suicide.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Here, hold on, Kevin.
Tiff.
Just hold on for 1 second.
Okay.
No. You hold on, Betty. Okay, so on your page, I noticed that there is a special way to get donations to benefit the concert. And that special way is to donate a testicle. And you receive $35,000.
What?
Yes.
What in the hell?
That was an idea. That was just an idea we were bouncing around.
What kind of sick mind are we dealing with here?
Most men
no, this is great because I have a great crew of volunteers, and as you know, when you're dealing with a topic like this, you need a good sense of humor. So, one of my great friends, Jason Holtschneider, you know, he's the event art director. He's a great asset. Christopher Holtz, Scott Ambrose, Corey Richards, BT Ramirez, Tony Trey, Aaron Zanzibacher. I mean, I have an amazing staff of people that have just really, I would have lost my mind trying to do this thing by myself. And it's amazing because they have such a great sense of humor and such great sarcasm. I love them all.
I love them so much. Fantastic response to the funding question.
Well, there have been a lot of other funding ideas bouncing around, but
I like that one. I like that
whether
one.
they're appropriate or not.
But you know, Michelle, we get as women, they're just like, just tie your tubes or just get a hysterectomy. Well, you know what? Why don't you just get rid of one of your testicles and, you know, donate it. Donate the funds. I would love that. Just one of them. I'm going to tell my husband to donate one of his testicles to the cause for you, just for you.
As Kevin crosses his legs.
Well, actually, it was like my hand was about to go down there. Now I don't even want to go there. I'm like, let's leave him alone. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put on the 11th, my daughter and son-in-law and the grandbabies, they're here in town, but they live right outside of DC because of Andrews Air Force Base. And I am going to see if my daughter. Go ahead.
Oh, you should. But the great thing is you don't have to be in Baltimore to see the show. We're selling online live streaming video tickets. Yeah.
No.
So if you go to seethegoodconcert.eventbrite.com, you will see that there are tickets for the live show and at the Auto Bar in Baltimore, but you can also buy online tickets. So we're going to be live streaming the show. So that way everybody in the world, since it is World Suicide Prevention Day, can enjoy the concert.
There you go. Wow. Cool. I will check
We
that
are
out.
going all out, my friend.
I hear you. I so hear you. As we're rounding down, give us all of your social media.
Oh, yeah. So Facebook, I'm Michelle M. Music, which is Michelle with one L, as in elegant, and MichelleMcTierney.com. Michelle M. Music on Twitter. I'm a little dirty on Twitter, so if you don't like dirty, then go to Facebook, but if you like dirty, go to Twitter. Go to Twitter.
Gotcha.
Instagram, I'm also Michele M Music. Yeah, so that should be basically. Oh, and YouTube. I'm on YouTube too. There's a lot of videos on YouTube.
Well, my confession to you, Michele, is that when you and I crossed paths, however we did, to get you on the show the first time, and probably because I'm a male and I saw this very attractive blonde on Twitter. I think that's how I found you. And music is so cool. Music is a thing. So it's like,
yeah.
But when you came on and you told your story, and I have to admit, there's several parts of your real life story that totally resonated with me during that last interview that tonight I kind of spoke up about. So you and I do have a connection. I'm rooting for you. I support you.
I love you, Kevin.
I love you back. And, from me to you, anything we can do here in Louisville, Kentucky to promote you. And, I've got to find venues to,
I know. To get you. I know. I got to get down there. I got to give you a big, huge hug in person.
Well, no, yeah, we need to find a location.
Too excited now.
Yeah, so
his wife will make him donate that testicle.
I don't have a wife. So, I'm not married. I don't have a wife. So,
lucky me.
There's no one to crack the whip.
Yeah, I mean they can maybe borrow it for a night, but I don't know if I can donate it for the night or for forever. But anyways, yeah, Michele, we need to. I remember Michele did not give you a venue here or some. Did we ever?
You did, and I think there was some turmoil about when it was starting and when they were, because they had just gotten into business or something. So I'll have to follow up. It's been a whirlwind with all of the different venues and stuff.
Well,
but I definitely want to go down there. I'm so excited about going down there. Hello?
I had muted my phone. Yeah, with my Monday night show, and we've still got time. Tiffany might have had to jump off. She said one of her kids were crying. So, but anyways, my Monday night show is eating everything. You heard burlesque. We're talking music. We'll talk politics, sport. I mean, talk anything. Now, I do a Wednesday night show here that is strictly local music. Local music. So, and that's, I love, I mean, there's nothing better going on night to listening to, bands that I've never heard of. To me, I prefer originals over covers, but I get that
Me
thing.
too.
But yeah, live music is so important to my routine. And I have to.
I agree.
Yeah, you and I will talk offline because I will help. I will figure out. You will share with me what it will take to get you here, and we'll find the right place. Because you got to get here. We got to hang out for the night, weekend, or whatever, and whatever I got to do to help get you here. We're gonna make that happen.
Oh, you got it. Oh man, definitely. I would love that. Well, what's great is I also have a opportunity for new singers and songwriters in Baltimore to be heard. I host this Baltimore Songwriter Showcase monthly. And so a lot of the bands and the people that I've met for this benefit concert, I met through that showcase. So it's been so wonderful. I have like 6 to 7 people who are singer-songwriters or original bands, and they're only allowed to play music that's original, and they get 30 minutes. And so we basically just go all night with people and it's amazing. Like, also you see this evolution of people who go in and they're so nervous when they first come in, and they're not, really sure of whether people are going to like their stuff or not, but we're building a community of musicians and support. And then like there's one guy who I first saw him and he was just like this really scared guy on stage, and now he's gotten his own album out and he has like such passion and stage presence on, you know, and it's just so amazing to see that growth and that progression, and that's what we want to see. I'm tired of being like a lot of these bands in the areas are live jukeboxes, you know, playing covers. We need to have better opportunities for expression.
Now, are the venues receptive there to bands that want to play more original than cover? Do you have a lot of those opportunities there?
I do. It's kind of it depends on the venue and it depends on the format. So if you have a showcase, like with a lot of different bands who have different draws, so you get a lot more people in, the venues don't really care if you do originals or not, because everybody has their draw. But if you are the only band or one of two bands or something playing a bar, then they're going to want covers, but they'll let you do originals too, and especially if they're good. So usually I try to mix it like 1/3 originals, 2/3 covers, or, you know, and stuff. But, you know, you have to do what you got to do to make some money and to be able to get out there with your name and meet people. That's what it's all about, is meeting people and getting people to hear your music, whatever it takes.
No, whatever it takes. You're right. Very cool. All right, dear. You came on and we in a sense picked up where we last left. It was it's a fun Is that your doggy?
Yes.
What is that? Sounded kind of like a little. Is it a Yorkie?
They're all like mutts, but they're like part Bichon.
Okay.
They're little white balls of fur. That's basically. I never thought I'd have girly dogs like this, but oh well.
It sounded very girly, so I'm just saying.
It was a very girly sounding dog.
Well, I'll tell you, I am going to, for the 9/11, I will connect and check it out myself here. I am going to go talk to my local resources, and we've got to find a time in your schedule that you could get here on a weekend, and we'll make it happen.
Oh, that would be great.
I want to get you here in person. There is a lot of, now granted, I'm partial to obviously the Louisville scene, but there are a lot of great local talent, and your music could fit in.
I'd love to meet some people.
Yeah. So
yeah, that would be so great to be able to meet other musicians at the same time.
You know, I tell you what I'm going to do. Let's figure this out. Now I'm just babbling. Maybe on one of my Wednesday shows, you sit in and co-host, and you get to get a feel of what Louisville music is about. Your co-host, you ask any questions you want. I think that might be something, but we'll talk about that offline. But,
yeah. Do you guys ever have like a festival or like an original music festival?
Yeah, there's all kinds of music stuff going on here. I had just sent you some links on your messenger. You'll see.
Oh, thank you.
There's
sweetheart.
There's a huge benefit coming up for a guy that is huge here locally. He's a guitarist for Uncle Cracker. You know, the
yeah. I love those
DJ
guys.
for him. Yeah, Kevin McCreary. He's going through some cancer issues. They're doing a big festival for him.
No.
There is just so much talent here in town, and a lot of, for the most part, a lot of good people, a lot of diverse and great musicians. So somehow, some way, we got to get you here, because I don't know, how far is Baltimore from Louisville? What, 10, 11 hours or something? I don't know, but anyway.
It would be worth it.
Yeah, for a weekend, and
you bet.
I would do my part to keep you Totally inebriated until showtime.
Deal.
We'll get you bathed and cleaned, but right before the show starts. But yeah, that's a goal of mine to get you here, and I will help. My friends will help make that happen. So let's do that.
That's awesome.
All right.
That
All right,
sounds like
Michelle,
a plan,
my lovely.
friend.
Yes, lots of love to you and the work you're doing.
Lots of
You know
love
how
back.
to reach. Yeah, you know how to reach me. Let's stay in touch and make things happen, babe.
Thank you so much, baby. You have a great night and a great week.
You
and
too.
I love you so much, man.
Yeah, I'm right back at you. We'll stay. We gotta stay in touch. We got our connection.
Yes, your
thing,
kindred
so,
spirit. Exactly.
Exactly. I want to bring it. That voice, that look, that body here to Louisville for me. I would be so grateful.
Oh, and I want to hug your body too.
Yes, please do. Please do.
All right, you take care. All right, bye-bye.
Bye, babe. Michele McTierney, wrapping up this segment. Let me give some love to our county line gigs for the weekend. I lost Tiffany. She had to go do something or family stuff. So Chris Lucien, manager at the county line, bourbon, beers, and billiards, $2 ice cold domestics, $3 Jim Beam Maple, Honey and Fire. Karaoke every Thursday night from 8 p.m. to midnight. This Friday night, September 2nd, the Buckshot Playboys will be at the line, one of the county line favorites, doing their thing. That will be a fun show. Saturday night, September 3rd, WildWood, one of the more popular country bands here in Louisville, will be rocking country style at the line again Saturday, September 3rd. The county line, 1891 Old Preston Highway in Hillview. Good stuff, fun stuff. Again, Buckshot Playboys Friday night, WildWood Saturday night. Good weekend. What did we talk about tonight? Well, we talked burlesque. There is a burlesque show in Lexington this coming Saturday night. It is the Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo 2 Classic Rock Burlesque Show. It's Saturday, September 3rd, 2016 at Cosmic Charlie's, 388 Woodland Avenue in Lexington. And then we had Michele McTierney, who's a singer-songwriter out of Washington, D.C., a good friend of the show, very sweet lady, singer, talent. She's got a lot of projects she's working on. One of the projects she's involved with is the World Suicide Prevention Day benefit concert on September 11th. It's in Baltimore. You can go to her webpage, Michele with one L, MICHELE, McTierney, McTierney.com. You can check out her booking events or booking dates. You can, in this case, for people outside of Baltimore, can participate, get tickets for the streaming video, which I plan on doing. So that's September 11th for the cause, World Suicide Prevention Day. I think that's wrapping us up on this Monday night, August 29th. We will have a Wednesday night show, Shooting Stars, this coming Wednesday, August 31st at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we're going to have on September 2nd, the KT Unearthly Show, which is a brand off Shooting from the Lip. It's going to be an archive show with Ruben Ariachu. So stay tuned for that. And it's the holiday weekend, so there. I will be in Lexington Saturday night at the Burlesque show, so stay tuned for pictures, stories, really good stories. For Tiffany Mac, for Russ, who is out of town, and myself, Kevin Hale, I bid you a good night and a pleasant day. Peace out, Louisville.
At no time were any animals or people hurt during this presentation of Shooting from the Lip.